Mushu pork looking kind of fine though. Am I right? Look at that man. Torment Nexus tonight, my king, says HD Leper. Tonight, I'm probably gonna finish It Takes Two with Blazer. I'm very excited about that. Throw the switch to defeat Mushu. I am trying really hard to make the YouTube streaming experience better. I'm putting a lot of work into this, so. Oh god, he's so much worse than I thought he was. What is the goal? Okay, we just flip the switch. Oh. Is that it? Is this the whole fight? Dude. Well, that was a, Alright, we can just do this. So, is the gimmick that I just do that? Oh. Youch. I see. Chase me. This, wow, Brian was right. This is country mad scientist music. Mushu port complete. Well, we did it. I really could have caught that in the last recording, I think. I think we could have... We could have done that. Just ended cleanly this section. But you know what? You know what? That's fine, guys. It's fine. I am nervous because this game has like 85 million levels. Where's the button for it? I don't know. I don't remember how to open the menu. This game has like 84 million levels, and I'm really scared of how long it's gonna be. Haley says, I'm still undecided if I think Gex is good. My honest take is that this game is alright, actually. Like, I think it's fine. I think it's got a vibe. And speaking, like, sincerely, like, the platforming isn't terrible. I don't know if I would say it's, like, incredible. But it's not, like, the worst thing that has ever happened to video games. You know what I mean?
Now that's what I call getting some tape.
Climb the tree, storm the castle. Let's do it, folks. We're going back to Toontown.
Looks like Bugs Bunny after the trots.
This is gonna sound so deranged, but do any of my public YouTube viewers remember if Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom has aired for the public yet? I don't think it has. This game does have 6. Not yet. Okay. That checks out. The floor texture in this area reminds me of Yellow Taxi Ghost Broom. That was a good game. That was like a very quick, enjoyable game that did not overstay its welcome. It almost did. Like, it could have been annoying if it was like 2 hours longer than it was.
It's tail time.
But it didn't. It didn't overstay its welcome, which was enjoyable for me, a person who likes short games.
The government told me these experiments were over.
Ooh! Okay, precision platforming in the Gex verse is a little bit tough. I don't understand quite what makes Gex jump so high sometimes. Is it like a frame perfect hop? Damn IRS! I was so right. The IRS is after Gex. Get his ass. There we go. Okay. There's got to be something cool back here. Guys, I was so right, guys. Brian says, okay, so anyway, you just sequence broke the whole level. Did I?
And remember, kids, never buy marmalade with a guy in a top hat. Flame on!
Oh, I was supposed to long jump across that gap? Well, what's the point? This is just what it's like to be a pro gamer. I'm sorry to say. I'm gaming so hard right now, it's unbelievable.
This is like a luau at Mel Blanc's house.
I am simply built different. That is true. Thanks, Raph. I'm loving being inside this gecko.
Note to self, don't step on any brown, mushy rocks. I'll give you such a pinch!
Oh no. Oops. Also,
why don't you get back on the can of tuna?
one thing I wanted to note here, I think I mentioned it last time as well, but one thing I do want to note here is that Brian's level of just encyclopedic Gex knowledge is deeply questionable. And no one has fully called him out on it yet, but let it be known, it has been noticed.
Guys, from now on, call me Merlin.
Why would I do that? How am I supposed to get through there? Oh, I can just break them. Well, that makes sense. I keep forgetting that that there is, in fact, a lethal weapon at this gun show. That would be Gex's tail. Ooh! That was close. I don't understand what this is supposed to be, because he was like, don't step on squishy rocks, which I thought was just a poop joke. So are those supposed to be poops? I'm not really clear on that. Can someone give me some direction? Guys, I am a platforming god.
Alright, it's tail time. There's plenty more where this came from, baby.
I'm sure that there's like something we're supposed to be like cleanly doing, like possibly this, but frankly, I don't think I even needed it. Ah, I see. I see, it's on a timer.
Let's get it on.
Ooh. Oh! Fuck, I didn't realize that they disappeared.
There's plenty more where this came from.
There we go. I do have rewind available, that is true.
Slip of the tongue. Cut! Stunt Gecko!
There we go. I don't really understand why sometimes I have like
A little tongue now, a lot.
perfect hops that are huge. Dude, I walk by and people are like, that boy got perfect hops. You see that? I'm curious what the speedrun
Note
tech
to
for this
self,
game is.
Don't drink tap water at Jerry Garcia's.
I like that Gex leaves completely uncontextual notes to self. Just like completely irrelevant to anything that's going on. Like, of all of the times to have a thought, right now is where he's like, I think right now I should dunk on Jerry Garcia. While I'm traipsing through the garden, having just a positively wonderful time. How do I do this? Can I like frame perfect hop? Nope.
Look, I just wanted the gift shop and the bathroom. Driving with the thing.
Purposefully dying is part of my strategy, in case anyone was curious. So that I can get more cans, I guess. There we go.
My tongue, darling.
Ah, thanks for the follow. Whew.
Oh no, I'm too young to have a second childhood. Hey, night, night, no kidding.
Okay.
designed this scent with you in mind.
Really? That's all the time I get? God damn, dude. That's crazy. Wile E. Coyote kicked Gex's ass. 100% true. They got in a bar fight.
Take that, hired stooge.
I suck. There's never been someone who sucks as bad.
A little tongue now, a lot of tail later.
There's gotta be like a speed run tech that I can take advantage of there with that.
It's tail time.
It's tail time. You think they would queen out? Girl. I think Wile E. Coyote is out there smoking meth in his trailer, and he's got them sharp teeth, and Gex has to be very scared. Dreamboat? Okay.
Gecko chop, baby.
Gex has real cokehead energy, you know what I mean?
See, you're nothing. It's tail time. Licking my way to the top.
Is he in a Daffy Duck costume all of a sudden? Kind of a good look for you, Gex. I'm always down for more mallards, you know what I mean? You're looking kind of cute, dude.
Oh yeah, it's tail time.
I guess Daffy isn't exactly a mallard, but you know what I mean. Real duck hours. Is Daffy? Does he? I don't think he has a green head, does he? No, he doesn't. It's black. What kind of duck is Daffy? Just a generic duck? Is he just duck? Ooh! Okay, that was sad. We're all really... Duck style duck? Got it. I guess it was wrong of me to just interrogate what kind of duck he was. That's big where are you from energy, you know what I mean? I gotta be better than that. I promise to do better. I've lived and I've learned. This game looks like the Taz game from PS2. This is a PS1 and N64 game. Released on PC as a remaster, which is what I'm playing. Oh, I suck. I wish this game looked like a PS2 game, because the draw distance would be a little bit better.
Look, I just wanted the gift shop and the bathroom.
According to Google, Daffy is an American black duck, which is very similar to a mallard. Well, look at that. I really wanted that health, but I don't need it right now. Oh! Well.
This is like a luau at Mel Blanc's house.
You wonder what it looks like on the N64? The N64 version of this game is a lot fuzzier due to the MIP mapping and anti-aliasing that the N64 supported. So it looks a little bit. It has a much softer image. Draw distance, I think, is a little bit worse. Well, I don't know about that actually. It might be the same. Oh wow. Nope.
Slip of the tongue.
Sorry, Charlie.
I like how you guys are like calling me out. Like, yeah, you have to rewind.
Stunt Gecko.
It's like, thanks for looking out for me, fam. Worse than this? Yeah. You also had like no camera control in the N64 version. It was like impossible to see where you were going. There we go. Look at that, guys.
After 12 years of full house.
I guess I can just rewind all the way. Like, I don't even need to...
Pinch.
Die, dude. Got him. The camera here isn't actually that bad. It's just, like, sensitive. It's the draw distance that, like, really makes it difficult. And just, like, how close it gets sometimes. But, like, keeping it zoomed out, and, like, I have full camera control with the, I mean, horizontally at least, so it's, like, not that terrible. Let's fucking go, guys. That's free for all you freaks out there. Another bonus level. Boy, howdy. Okay, that was the one I already got.
It's tail time.
It's tail time. I forgot the order, but it's the green gate open too? I don't think so.
Well, this level must have been made by Kubrach. Let's get it on.
That's fun. That's like a cute little... I like that he has the Mario 64 My Butt's on Fire smoke and animation. You know what I mean? There we go. Because we are positively zooming right now. There has been absolutely no briefcases. Oh!
Someone yell cut.
Okay, this is where the camera is bad. Is trying to figure out just where the heck am I going? Having to run towards the camera is like pretty rough. Like there's some significant time loss there, but that's fine.
Phone call from at helm.
I can't read chat right now, guys. I need to move, guys. I gotta scoot. Oh. Thought the thing was flying over me. My depth perception is just non-existent, I guess. I suppose. Dude, that shark looking kind of fresh, though. Dude, have you been lifting? Dude, you look so good.
I'll get some tape.
This is cool. That was objectively a cool little segment. Aha. I see. That's cool. Ah, and we put on our disco suit behind there. See, that's cute, guys. That's cute. We're having a time. Oh, it's real Casino Royale. Oh no, hours right now. Ooh, there we go. Sorry to my epileptic viewers out there. All right, so we did that. So good for us. Oh, I guess the green one is open as well. Do I want to do this right now? Is it even worth doing right now? Oh, but I don't have the remotes needed for the levels here. Unless okay, so I have these ones. Let's do those after. Let's complete the red gate first. Or the blue gate? I don't remember what gate. We'll do the other gate first, is my point. Perry says my head hurts. I'm sorry. There's not much I can do about it. There's not much I can do about it. I'm sorry, everyone. I wish I could turn on no seizure mode, but the game doesn't have that, so... Ride the rocket.
First sign of any walk, I'm out of here.
Oh, is he wearing a stormtrooper outfit? Fascism cosplay. So fun. Oh, that's an air meter. That's air. I've been destroying air. Oh. That's like a kill Gex energy meter. Or energy thingy. That's great. Just more shit to worry about. Dr. Uranus free exam. Guys. We're gaming right now.
Gimme. Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Cool. Cool little animation. Guys, we love Star Wars. It's free healthcare. So true. in this economy. Did I get to the rocket, guys? Is this it? Did we do it, fam? I think we did. Look at him being cute and shit. I can ride the mechanism. So true.
There's a gecko on my tail. R2, see what you can do with it.
So yeah, this is just the Star Wars references level, I suppose. Which is fine by me. This game predates the prequels. Can you believe that? Can you imagine being in a time when there were only 3 Star Wars movies? I'm not saying I don't remember that, because I do. I'm just saying, oh, how much cinema has changed since then. How much our very existence as pop culture animals has changed. The world we know. Dude, this thing looks like so weird. Well. These are phasers from Star Trek, right?
Fill her up with unleaded, please.
You can still live in that time if you try hard enough? Nah. It would rob me of really great stuff, though. Like, if I lived in a world where there were only 3 Star Wars, I wouldn't have such great things like The Mandalorian or... Fuck, I died. Can you believe that? I wouldn't have such things like The Mandalorian and, wow, they really just send you all the way back, don't they? Boy, howdy, that's rough. I wouldn't have Andor. Andor's real good, guys. It is as good as they say, believe it or not. I actually think, and this is my big, oh yeah, I'm gonna rewind because why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I actually think that the Disney Star Wars era is overall like much more watchable and good than Star Wars had been previously. Which is not to say that I don't think the OT is the best of the films, because I do. Overall, like I'm not saying that non-OT Star Wars is like better in terms of films, but I do think that as like a whole, the canon of Star Wars is a little bit more consistently high quality now than it was previously. And I say that as someone who has read a lot of Star Wars expanded universe fiction. The Legends era was a real dice roll on whether or not what you were reading was going to be good. Okay. Fine. Google says the first Star Wars prequel is May 1999. That is correct. It's absolutely true. Did I really not get the thingy, the reward for this level? I guess that's fine.
Oh yeah, it's tail time.
Rise of Skywalker, I think, is a mediocre and bad movie. But I think it's bad in boring ways. Like, I don't think it's one of the worst films I've ever seen, but I've also seen a lot of really bad movies. What I will say about Disney Star Wars is that Disney Star Wars television, like even counting the stuff that people aren't like super hot on, is like significantly higher quality than than the garbage that we were getting in the EU era on a consistent basis. Like, I know people didn't like The Acolyte, right? A lot of that was like right-wing astroturfing though. Like, The Acolyte was fine. The first episode was really good. The rest of it was kind of meh, but like it wasn't bad. Had a really great villain. And then Andor and Mandalorian are fantastic, just like consistently the whole way through. Kenobi is like perfectly serviceable, fine TV. The latest season of Clone Wars is like really incredible. EU, expanded universe era, the Legends era, as it is known now. The Bad Batch is like one of the best Star Wars things, like, period. Bad Batch is really good. What else is there? Skeleton Crew is fantastic, like really great.
Captain, they are a berserker that find Adam Sandler funny.
That was a relevant joke. What else is there? Oh, the modern Star Wars comics are really good. People really like those. Last Jedi is pretty great. Force Awakens. I think Force Awakens is a legitimately good movie. I think that the complaints that it is just a rehash of A New Hope, like, don't understand what that movie is about or what it's trying to do. I also, like, don't think that doing, like, a rehash in conversation with an original film is, like, a problem. I think Kylo Ren in that first movie is really good. It has really great lightsaber fights, however small they are. Like, I think that movie is legitimately a good movie. I would rank it pretty highly in my favorite Star Wars films. I don't really love all of the characters in it. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the sequel trilogy characters, but, like, I don't hate them. Like, I one thing that I will say is that I think
Beam up.
there's like not a lot. Oh, fuck me. I think that a lot of people project a lot more on the OT trilogy characters than is actually present in them for the starts of their trilogies. Like, I think that Luke, for example, in A New Hope is like a fun character, but I don't think that there is as much that sets him apart from Rey in the first film. Like, if we're just going by the first films in their trilogies, I don't think there's that much that sets them apart in terms of characterization. And I think that Rey, like, is equally as, like, kind of interestingly developed in that first movie, when just looking at Luke's A New Hope iteration. I do think Luke overall is, like, a better character, but that has to do with problems I have with the second and the third trilogy, or the second and the third films in the trilogy, than just on the merits of, like, A New Hope and Force Awakens alone. Yeah, I mean, the J.J. Abrams fucked everything with Rise of Skywalker. Like, that is such a blight on, like, the overall narrative arc of the series that it does, like, weaken the sequel trilogy pretty significantly. And, like, that's a real bummer. And I do think that is, like, where those movies, for lack of a better word, like, become significantly worse, is the third film just really drops the ball on, like, everything that was set up prior to it. But again, I think when, like, looking at some of those films in a vacuum, like, they're pretty solid on their own. And even all of that being said, like, my problem with The Last Jedi, not The Last Jedi, what is it called? I went the wrong way. My problem with The Rise of Skywalker isn't even that I think it is the worst movie on its own, because I don't. I think the issue is that you
You are my secret plan.
I really should have hit a death plane like way earlier. That was weird. My issue with Rise of Skywalker is that it is an extremely bland and uninteresting end to a trilogy of films that set up a lot of interesting things that I would have liked to see come to fruition. People like significant... I would even go so far as to say there are beloved sci-fi films that are worse movies on their own, or at least have more cardinal filmmaking sins than Rise of Skywalker. That is not a defense of Rise of Skywalker. That is just like an objectively measurable filmmaking fact. But what I will say is that Rise of Skywalker is absolutely not the movie that should have happened when it happened, right? Like, I think there is a world where Rise of Skywalker is an appropriate end to a Star Wars trilogy. The problem is it was not an appropriate end to that Star Wars trilogy. And that's like a real problem. And I think that is where a lot of the franchise frustration comes from. Ignoring, the culture war bullshit that everyone had to be fucking put through when it came to the sequel trilogy of just like them coming out at the absolute worst time for culture that they possibly could have come out for. It is a poorly written movie. That's absolutely true. It is a poorly written movie. But like there are people out there who think like
I just want the quadro.
I'm gonna say some like really crazy shit, but like I wanna put it out there that like I like these movies and I think that they're better than Rise of Skywalker. But like people out there will talk about how badly written Rise of Skywalker is and like talk about bad dialogue and boring plotting, and then be like, Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets is an underrated gem. And it's like, well, are you really being an objective critic here? Or are you just grandstanding because you're mad that a Star Wars movie did not live up to your expectations? And I'm not saying that that's what people in this chat are doing. I'm just saying, like, as a whole, I think when we criticize movies like Rise of Skywalker, the concern comes from a place of very loaded engagement, which is to say people are invested in Star Wars and they care about it being good and they have very strong feelings about the way that it should be. And that informs the discourse around the movie. So in a world where people did not feel as strongly about Star Wars, I think the consensus around Rise of Skywalker would be considerably different than it is today. And that is not to say, again, that it is a particularly good film or that it is even worth defending, because I don't think it is. It's the fact that like people are more mad about it and it did more damage to the franchise than its quality. It's like the damage it did has more to do with outside factors than it has to do with the raw quality of the film. Because people stand significantly worse movies on a regular basis. Fuck me. You know what I mean? And that is to say that I think that we can recognize that Rise of Skywalker is a very bad movie in its own positioning than it is necessarily... Like, people make up or are more offended by how bad... or that by that movie's technical flaws than they necessarily need to be, given the kind of film that it is. And yeah, like it's a bad movie and I do not like it. It is one of my least favorite Star Wars films. I would put it like as second or third worst. Like easily. I still think Attack of the Clones is like a significantly more unwatchable film. Because Attack of the Clones is a really bad movie. That, if you like, that's the thing, is that people out there are like, oh man, like Rise of Skywalker is so bad, I love the prequel trilogy. And I'm like, well, you guys criticize bad writing, but you're not out there criticizing one of the actual worst film scripts of all time. Like, I don't know about that, fam. Like, there's a lot to be said. There are other bad Star Wars movies, but I think that the thing is that there's so many expectations that went into Rise of Skywalker that like soured people on the experience of it. And that's also evident in how people respond to Disney Star Wars as a whole, which is like, people are just convinced that Disney Star Wars is bad when it's provided some of like the very best Star Wars media that has ever existed. I mean, literally the best Star Wars media that has ever existed in Andor. Like, Andor is just a truly incredible TV show. Like, genuinely good TV that is worth going out of your way to consume, even if you don't really care about Star Wars. Andor is truly that fucking good. I have no idea how we're supposed to get across this. But that's fucked up, Gex. You know what I mean? And it's all on the back of Rise of Skywalker being kind of a bad movie. Oh, guys, I am a god gamer. What was the point of this, though? Huh? Why am I here, though? What was the point of coming over here? Oh, no. Did I get... What is happening? What is the point of this area? Epistemo says, it's funny how the threequel trilogy somehow gaslit an entire fandom into thinking the prequels were good. That is 100% true. It's crazy that happened. Though, to be fair, some of that is just the fact that, like, connective media, I have like a whole thing about, I have a whole thing about that. Star Wars is a exercise in like collaborative storytelling, which sounds like a weird defense of Star Wars, and in a way it is, but this series has always been someone makes an outline and then other people come in and work on it. That is literally the story of how the original trilogy was made. The best Star Wars film, Empire Strikes Back, was not directed by George Lucas. And it's intriguing, I think. I have no idea where the next remote is. I'm gonna have to look. And so there's always been this really intriguing aspect of Star Wars where someone writes something and then people go, that's interesting, where are the gaps? And then their job becomes filling in those gaps and expanding those gaps and creating the next guardrail under which there are people working to make something new. And
Is that a lightsaber? You're just happy to see me.
I'm stuck in a loop forever. And we see this in action with the prequels, where you get, you know, people are gonna complain about like glup shitto and filling in all the blanks and like let there be mystery and storytelling and yes, blah blah blah, but like serialization is not inherently evil, I guess, is like a big point I want to make. Is like, this is just how stories are made, and that's fine, and that's cool, actually, even based even. And so when the prequels happened, everyone hated them and they were awful, but they created a gap. And now with the power of like corrective hindsight, we can say, oh my God, the prequels make so much more sense because of like some interesting hard work that people like Dave Filoni did, filling in the blanks that were represented by the prequels. And I still can't figure out where we need to go.
Damn, that's sweet.
I'm so confused, guys. Where am I supposed to be? I also need to find the hidden remote in this level, I am realizing at this precise moment. So what I was going to say is, you know, so Dave Filoni goes back and he fills in all this stuff, right? He fills in all these blanks. And suddenly people are like, oh my God, the prequels are so good. But it's not necessarily the prequels that are good. It is the effect of having a canvas under which to fill out interesting stories is what makes our experience with the prequels in the modern day better, so to speak. It kind of has nothing to do with the prequels themselves, and more has to do with, like, again, the stuff around them. And then we get into an interesting phenomenon where young people, not all young people, but many young people, grow up in an era where the prequels already exist and all of the story has already been filled in, and they get to experience that on its, like, fresh on its own, like as if that was the whole canon, right? So Clone Wars, the prequels, and then they get brought into a sequel trilogy era, and they're like, I hate this. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have a plan, but they don't have the power of, like, hindsight yet. Toaster, for the love of God, there's a rewind button. I know there's a rewind button, but I want to get my lives back.
Someone yell cut.
Like, the reason why I didn't rewind is because I don't think I can make it over there in time. Okay, I did.
I said no.
Also, I'm talking and I'm playing the game.
No white walls.
But what I was going to say is, like, I think that with regards to this new era, you get to see the track being laid in front of you, and you're like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. Somehow Palpatine returned, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I guarantee you, in
That old sandwich in my
15 years, we are going to have an era where people have the power of, like, hindsight, and they've seen the Bad Batch, and they see all of the lore about how, I don't know, Palpatine was cloned, and actually it's really interesting. And they're gonna live in a post-High Republic era, and they're gonna be like, oh, this is, like, you know, now we think of, you know, the sequel trilogy movies might have been bad, but, like, think about all the groundwork they laid. It's like a genius storytelling principle, and it's like, all right, well, or genius storytelling structure. And then, like, now you look back on it and you're like, well, that we had to get through the bad to get to the good, and the good is here now, so yay. And I don't think that enough thought when interfacing with the modern Star Wars goes into that aspect, because that is just the way Star Wars is now. That's the space it occupies in media.